Okay. Hello, good evening, or good morning, good afternoon to everyone. Hello, Hank. We are just waiting for Dave, who's having like a little bit of. Okay. Hello, good evening, or good morning, good afternoon to Dave, everyone. Hello, Hank. We are just. Okay, let me mute that, my monitor, and then there we go. I see a very big forehead.
That's my that's what my dad called me growing up. He's Frankenstein forehead, chicken leg, pencil neck geek.
It's your camera, dude. There we go. Yeah, there. Wow, that's a lot of green. Alrighty. Caster's Fly Shop in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our guest, Dave Hise. And I think from the introduction that I actually gave uh, when we, introduced Dave, a lot of people will probably think that, hey, man, um, someone like that, and I've had like people messaging me. He goes like, you actually know someone like that.
Yeah,
uh, yeah, I've been around the block. A lot of people don't actually, Dave, a lot of people don't know that um I used to really fly fish and tie flies a lot.
you
Okay,
did.
hold on, let me. The dogs are driving me nuts. I'm gonna excuse me for a moment.
Yep.
What do you want? One of our dog. Oh God, no. Night, night. Pwede mo ba yung fan? There.
You still find everything?
One lang dyan, lang yung. Oh God. And they had to do this at the right time, right? They just
Yep.
had to like time it right when we're doing something. All right. So, um, a lot of people don't know that I used to fly fish and tie flies. Obviously, you know, uh, we've met at that time. That was a long time ago, at least 15 years. Because
Well,
this was before Kaylee. This was before my daughter.
yep.
And she's about to turn 16. So it's at least around that long. Um, how did it all start, Dave? Give us like an introduction, brief introduction to Dave Heiss.
Um, well, I grew up in inner city of Los Angeles, so obviously fly fishing is not a big thing there, and nobody in my family fly fished or fished for that matter. But I had a friend who, 14 years old, had a friend. I could see the sparkle in his eyes. His dad took him. His dad took him fly fishing every summer. That his mom and dad were divorced, and that was his 2 weeks with his dad for the year, and he lived with his mom. And his dad took him to Montana for 2 weeks
Oh, wow.
every year. But when he talked about it, I could see the sparkle.
Yeah.
So we went one day, and I think I borrowed his dad's rod, and we went up to a little. Believe it or not, there were wild trout streams
In
an
California?
hour an hour from downtown Los Angeles.
That's insane.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
fish
tiny.
fish for this big.
Yeah.
Um, But I remember I threw a little elk hair caddis, and I don't remember how bad I was, but I was probably really bad. And a fish came up and ate it. And I set the hook so hard,
It flew.
the fish, the fish came flying back over into the gravel. We probably killed it, but from that point on, that's when it started. So I think that afternoon, of course, there were no cell phones, there was no internet, because that was 1982. So I went to both grandmas. I think I called them on the
Yeah.
on the rotary,
Yeah. Rotary phones.
and you messed up. You had to start over. Had to hang
Press
up.
the plunger.
Yep. And I said, Grandmas, do you have any work for me to do? Because I want to buy a fly rod. So of course the grandmas, yeah, come clean my silver. Come. And then they gave me way much more money than I
Yeah.
should have got for the
Yeah.
job that I did. But I think within a few days I raised enough money to go to it was a place called Sports Chalet, and they had
Oh,
Fenwick. So I bought my first Fenwick Eagle.
yeah.
I wish I would have kept it, but I don't have it. Um,
Those things actually cost a lot of money now.
yeah, they brought them back.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it was like probably less than $100.
Yeah.
And yeah, the rest is history from there. So
What reel did you get with the rod?
it was probably a Fenwick
It's a set.
cast, yeah, cast reel.
Yeah.
It was $100 for the whole thing or less. So I think the gram when I cleaned their silver, they usually gave me like, which back then was a lot of money. They gave me like $40, 35, $40, both of them.
Yeah.
So y'all set? Good. One
All
sec.
right.
Okay.
So if you guys haven't noticed, okay, so Dave is actually in the fly shop right now, and we're kind of intruding in his day-to-day routine, and so from time to time there might be a chance that he would be helping people out in the shop. So there would be pauses like this. Okay. Now, obviously, we're starting out with how things started for him, and we'll uh, we'll ask him more questions as we progress, of course. Now, for
Tying green
me,
weenies.
for me,
Tying green weenies.
No, I'll sand wands with this.
Okay. Because there's
when
also an inchworm fly that uses this, and
Oh, okay.
the other one's called Barbie, but it's a green weenie. It's very effective for wild trout. Thank you.
there we go. So, um, for me, fly fishing started kind of differently as well. And, I'm in a part of the world where fly fishing isn't really something that a lot of people practice. So it's kind of strange to actually, well, it's also kind of strange to get into fly fishing in salt water to start with. Um, you know, especially since a lot of the fly fishing is in freshwater, and saltwater fly fishing, even until this day, is a little bit kind of different. And it's I guess in fly fishing it's still very much kind of specialized. But we'll No, Dave is not able to see the chat unless he actually opens the YouTube. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and send the URL to Dave so that he can click it, and then he'd be able to actually see the the chat as well, or the what do you call this?
Do a tap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One
And
sec. It'll pop up there and then tap it. I'll get your bag.
I probably ask you this every time I come in here, but do you remember me?
Yep. Yep. You're just like me, or you're just older and
Yeah, yeah. Finally back tying constantly or regularly, and he's keeping me busy now.
nice.
He's getting into it.
Yep.
I was first fishing a fly rod Saturday.
Sweet.
Nice little bass. So this
Yep. Good to
this
see you.
sounds me. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Have fun.
Dude.
Thank you.
All right, Dave, there's going to be I put the chat box there. Sorry, in the chat box, there's the link to the video that's being uploaded as we speak. So if you click that and then you take the
Good to
what's
see
that?
you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Have fun.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
mute it.
All right, Dave,
Mute it.
there's going to be I put the chat box there.
Do I mute-
Sorry, in the chat box.
Yeah, mute
there's
the
a
chat.
link
Sorry, not this chat, but
uploaded
YouTube.
as we speak. So if you click that and then you take the yeah, man. Thank you. Have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that way you can see the chat from people, and when they ask you questions, you can see the question, and then we can go on with our conversation. I kind of just use it as a monitor of sorts, so that I can see there's a 15-second delay or something like that.
So do I use the YouTube?
No, you use the Zoom, and then for YouTube you can see the chat box there, so that
Just
people.
just go back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, what I do is I put the YouTube what do you call this? I kind of make the window smaller and then put it side by side, but I focus my attention on the Zoom. And then I just look to see if there's questions and stuff, so that at least you also get to see the questions that they're asking. You know.
There's Randy.
Yeah. Randy actually asked if you can see the chat. So that's kind of what clued me in to actually just include them, so that you could also see. By the way, your chat box says Jennifer.
Yep. Yesterday I was allowed to change that to my name,
Uh-huh.
but I was in such a rush I didn't get to that part.
All good. So anyway,
So that's actually my nickname.
Jennifer.
Yep.
All right, Dave. So this was in 1982
Yep.
in LA.
Yep.
Okay,
So believe
so
it or not, if you're familiar with the LA River,
Mhm.
I used to fish the LA River where it went into the bay in Long Beach.
Yeah.
And so if you're not familiar with the LA River, it's concrete,
Yep.
and then it's concrete,
Yep.
and then there's a river that runs
In the middle. I mean,
in the little middle.
there's the chase scenes mostly,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
They go there. So
But
that's
when you
why.
but when you get down to Long Beach, it
Uh-huh.
it actually opens up, and there's rocks and trees, and there's carp.
Carp.
Yep.
You
So
started out with carp.
yep. Well, and the little trout.
Yeah, but carp aren't easy.
No. Carp are one of my favorite fish.
Wow.
So
And-
number one would be GT.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Number two would be Atlantic salmon, which is a trout,
Yeah.
not a salmon. Number three would be steelhead. And then number four is carp.
I'm kind of disappointed that the milkfish isn't there.
Milkfish is fun, but we were only catching.
Yeah.
I never got the big ones,
Yeah, but I mean, dude,
but they jump. Milkfish jump,
they're not easy.
and they jump too.
Oh yeah. They jump, they cartwheel, they greyhound, they I mean, as you know, um, I targeted them a lot, and not often successful, but I had quite a few of them. Anyway, so that explains the fly fishing. But how did you actually get into the tying bit? Because a lot of people don't realize, and I keep on saying this, that fly tying is very different from fly fishing. And I think yesterday we've touched up on this. And you know, there are people that tie flies and they don't fish. And then there are those that fly fish that don't tie flies.
Yep.
So I kind of understand those guys that fly fish that don't tie flies, because there's a shitload of people that don't make their own lures and they still fish, right?
Yep.
So those are the same type of guys. But the guys that tie flies that don't fish, that's just weird. To me, that's just weird. That's just
Yep.
weird. So how did you actually get into tying flies?
It was that same year that I bought the
The
fly
rod?
rod.
Uh-huh.
And for Christmas, my mom bought me
Set.
a set,
Okay.
which incidentally, people ask me all the time, what's the best kit, or
Mhm.
how do I get started? I
Yeah.
do not recommend buying a kit,
No.
because I still have materials
From that.
that are unopened from that kit from 1982.
Still until today.
And I tie every day.
Oh wow. You can listen to kit but not get a tying kit.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
So I always recommend buying the tools and material, or the tools and the vise for what
Yeah.
you can afford.
Yeah.
And then buy the materials for either the flies that you want to tie,
Yeah.
learn to tie, or the flies that you fish with.
Yeah.
And
See,
then right off the bat, you have a focus.
okay. Here's a very interesting question. I'm pretty sure a lot of people kind of don't get this, right? But for you personally, Dave, you tie with arguably one of the world's best vices.
Yep.
You can't get it anymore, okay? And a lot of people don't realize the kind of treasure that you have. That's a
Yep.
Waldron, okay?
Yep.
Only very experienced OG fly tyers would know this.
Yep.
So people don't realize, they only see the jaw,
Yep.
right? Especially when you're tying those little tiny ass flies. But um the question isn't about the vice that you have now. I'm pretty sure that you have it. You've had that for quite a long time, because when we met, you've already been using that.
1996.
Yeah, we've met like you know, way after that. But how many vices did you actually go through to actually land you on a Waldron?
I only ever had two
Okay.
before that.
Which were?
Regal Inex,
Okay.
and then a Regal medallion.
So from
And I can show you my medallion from
yeah,
before 96.
you still have it.
Yeah, you want me to get it?
Yeah, let's see it, man. That's actually kind of surprising, because those are two different configurations of jaws. Guys, you can ask questions. That still looks freaking new, dude. Wow. I mean, you could tell from the color that it's but holy moly. So you still have that around the shop as well?
Yep, this is what I use for my lessons.
Ah, okay.
Because people can't use my law.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, the law is why would you? But
Yep.
seeing the jaws on that and the mechanism is actually kind of different from a law. I mean, I would expect that you would actually look at something similar.
Yep.
But and
Very,
anyway,
very different.
the reason why I'm asking is because, okay, so if you're talking about a Regal, then that kind of makes sense, because a lot of people, if they upgrade from a Regal, they upgrade to like something that's just mind blowing. The Regal is
Like a
Regal is
Renzetti.
yeah, Regal is actually, if people, if people don't know, Regal is very hard to beat. The jaws just work.
Yep.
I I I went through a lot more because majority of them were Chinese.
Yep.
So that's when yeah, Gary Waldron is like legendary. You can't get them anymore. But you know, it's one of those vices that are just insanely good, and the not just the ergonomics, but how it holds hooks, especially the smaller ones. It's just insane.
Oh, it holds 32, size 32. Which I can show you a 32.
Okay, God, a size 32 is tiny. I already find like a size 20 something that I couldn't, tie with because they're so small. But um a size 32 is actually very, 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 very small.
So the I don't have to change jaws,
Uh-huh.
the same jaw, and that all the other vices you have to get a mid jaw
Yeah.
or a standard jaw or a big game jaw.
Salt water, yeah.
And here,
That's a size 32 right there. And his vice
and I
can,
tied that. I tied
yeah,
that without glasses.
that's freaking insane.
And
Sir,
then
your eyes are still okay, Dave?
yep.
Wow.
And then the biggest hook I've tied on it.
Wow. Okay. So that's the range
Yep.
without,
Without
yeah,
changing.
yeah, without changing. Um for a really long time now, I've stuck with Montana Mongoose.
Yep. Yeah,
And
you always like the mongoose and then
yeah,
the widow's web.
yeah. Those are the what do you call this? The fly tying material that I because
Yep.
I tied this worm fly that just works really well with uh I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna share that fly because it's too destructive. Some friends have used it, and they're saying that it's they always say like, oh, you're onto something. What do you mean you're onto something? You already caught a dozen fish. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's so effective that when we run out, we go home. But the very material that and we knocked heads on this. The material that we were trying to replicate was marabou, right? So
Yep.
marabou, what material can actually do like uh, movement like marabou and stuff? And then we found that well, after a lot of experiments, I found that the widow's web actually, it's tougher, it's a bit stiffer, but it kind of gets it there.
Yep.
So those are that's that. I mean, that was very important for me. Also the squirmy. That was,
I love your pho shirt.
yeah. Don't forget don't forget the what's this?
Sriracha.
Yeah. It's Lovely goes. This is from the U.S. Lovely goes around, and she and her flights, and usually it's in the U.S. She finds these things. I don't know. She's quite good at that. Um. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay, in the subject of fly tying, why is it that you have vices that are so freaking expensive, uh, the gear, the gear is expensive. So for someone to get into fly tying, the skill ceiling is actually quite high. You know, I mean, there's tyers like you that are in the absolute apex, and to get to your level, it's nearly impossible. Okay, but but it's like a guitar, right? You have a guitar. The entry level for a guitar isn't that expensive, but why is fly tying expensive to get into? I mean, the materials, you know, all this. And it stacks up, and it's never just, oh, you need bucktail and that's it.
Well, it doesn't have to be expensive, but you make it expensive because you walk into a shop and I can show you my stuff
Yeah,
and you go, well, I just want to tie woolly buggers.
yeah,
And then you come in and you go, well, maybe I want to do some different color
yeah.
tails.
Uh-huh.
And maybe I want to add a little bit of sparkle.
Yeah,
And then maybe I want to put this flash in.
yeah,
And then here's all the chenilles.
yeah,
And every peg is full. So that's
yeah.
what makes it expensive. But you can get a cheap vise. Like we're trying to figure out this camera.
Yeah. I can see it.
Oh,
So
there it is.
yeah, yeah.
So that's $60 for that vise.
Okay.
But the difference with this vise, which is $30, made in India.
Yeah. I know that one at the end right there. I have one of those. That's one of the
This is
vices.
this is the Griffin.
Yeah.
So those first two, the jaws are soft.
Yeah.
Whereas the Griffin, it's
Mhm.
111 doubloons.
Uh-huh.
The jaw is hardened.
Yeah. And
So
the range of
yep,
that's also quite impressive, Dave.
yep.
You know, I mean, that's literally the same jaw that I have, and I tie assist hooks with it, and we're dealing with like really big hooks, and that's the Waldron. I mean, it still
So,
looks new, man.
well, except for the patina on this side.
Yeah, but that's insane. It's like, holy crap, that's
But
amazing.
I can still bend a hook in there.
Yeah,
Um, but if I wanted to, I could probably sell that for between 5 and 10,000 doubloons.
I was gonna say 3,000 easy,
Yep.
but a lot of people would pay a lot more money for that, dude. And especially if it says that it's used by you, because you're pretty well known.
Not really.
Ah, shut up. You know, Dave is a very humble guy. You know, he's literally one of the best fly tyers in the world. And dude, I won't forget. You know, remember when you actually went to Blanton's forum?
Yep.
How he reacted. That was funny. How
Yep.
he, I mean, people can actually still see the thread, right? But it was so funny because even like another guy who's like the literal father of a lot of very innovative flies, you know, when he saw that it was you, and then he realized it was you, he was like, oh man, you know, he knew who
Yep.
you were, you know. And that was funny, man. That was funny. But here's the thing, right? If I didn't tell you about that forum, you wouldn't have known about it, right?
Yep.
You're a literal hermit.
So somewhat.
Yeah. So, okay. So, how did you actually get into Orvis? Because, dude, like that is that's big. That's really big.
Um, well, my two mentors,
Mm-hmm.
my main mentors, I have a mentor that I never met, which was um and rest in peace, Oliver Edwards,
Okay.
who's a realistic tire.
Yeah.
Um, he he's my like mentor that I never met, and then uh, Dick Popst and Carl Richards, who are both very famous authors.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
I was fortunate enough to be able to work with them in Michigan. So Dick was always on me. It's like you need to send your flies in. You need to send your flies in.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of he set the path because he was one of the like the OG um, Orvis. He was one of the retail managers.
Gotcha.
So he he's the one that put my foot in the door, so to say.
Okay.
And he put it in there physically.
Yeah.
He didn't let me say no.
Yeah.
Um, and that was 2000, no, 1996.
1996. Wow.
So that's when I started designing flies for Fulling Mill, Orvis slash Orvis.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's been a few patterns in their catalog since 1996.
Yeah.
And one of them is the, the, not the granddad of Squirmy, but the,
Last month, Orvis Saltwater UK Festival. Oh, Gary said that he was at the Saltwater Orvis Saltwater UK Festival. Do you go to those things?
I've been to the UK a bunch to Tye,
Yeah, yeah.
at the, British Fly Fair,
Okay.
but here's the, one,
Okay.
one of the most loved, hated flies in the world before Squirmy.
What's that?
That's an egg and a worm on one hook.
Sacrilege.
And I did that to make people mad.
Sacrilege.
Yep.
Because there's only one thing that's so elitist than fly fishing, and that's fly tying.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that a lot of people don't realize that, and then there are outliers, right? The people that just do weird shit.
Yep.
And
Well, and then the Squirmy, 17 years, I developed that.
yeah.
And I can get it because there's probably, I don't know how many people are in chat, but I can show you what it looks like.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I don't know if you guys actually have heard of uh this particular fly, but this literally broke the convention on fly fishing and fly tying, so much so that it became illegal to fish in a lot of waters. And Dave is the guy who started it, and that's the story behind it. So he has a lot to show, but this is one of the flies that's very effective. And it's just effective. I mean, it's so effective. I've actually used the material in salt water and have caught a lot. That's the squirmy wormy right there. Squirmito.
And then this is the other, I didn't create this one, but that's
Okay.
made from a bathroom mat.
Ah, yeah, like the chenille
Yep.
little things. Yeah, okay.
And those two, those two flies, people
Really
hate.
hate.
Yeah.
So what's this thing with illegal flies, Dave? Can you please explain? There we go. Tying Euro nymphs and other. Okay. Okay. There we go. And Squirmy Wormy. Dave Hise. There we go. So no one can dispute, your Squirmito's daddy.
Yep. Yeah.
And people don't even know that.
And again, most of well, especially this one, this is where it all started because I saw the hate.
Uh-huh.
And this is my first fly where I received hate mail.
So what's the name of that?
Aggie Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, Eggy one. Yeah, I remember that.
instead of
Juan
Obi-Wan.
Kenobi. Yeah, Eggy Juan Kenobi.
So I started getting hate mail and I was like, well, hell, let's make more stuff that makes people mad. But that catches fish too.
Yeah. Sheldon, hold on. Let me So Gary's asking what was the reason for the hate?
Like you said, the what's more elitist than fly fishing and fly tying?
No, it's what's more elitist than fly fishing? It's fly tying. Hey.
And I mean, in my opinion, if it has a hook,
yeah,
and
and
thread
something tied on it,
and material, it's
yeah,
a fly.
yeah.
But
hey, Dave,
yeah,
I sent you some before. Some of what I made.
Yep.
The reloaders.
Yep.
Right, and that was an entirely different concept. And guess what? There's actually someone who's kind of doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that thing almost doesn't qualify as a fly.
Well,
Because it was kind of like a lure.
yeah, but
A fly is a lure.
yep.
Right. So that's again, that's kind of like outlier tying. It's what do you call this, kind of different, but it was born from epoxy fly.
Yep.
And I've been telling people since I've been tying assist hooks that epoxy is still better because a lot of people are doing assist hooks with resin,
Resin.
like not resin but UV resin.
Yep.
Right, but UV resin, it doesn't stop curing. So what happens is, like, especially when you're out in the water, you're jigging, and then most of the time when you're traveling, you're actually putting the jigs on the floor or on the side of the boat, and then sunlight hits it, and they don't know that it cures and it cracks, right?
Yep.
But it all started with fly tying. UV resin was used in fly tying way before it entered into other things,
Yep.
Well,
Solaris has been making
surfboards.
resin for surfboards and paddleboards since the 80s, 1980s.
Yeah. Actually, the very first resins, UV resins that I've been able to get here was Solaris, the purple tubes.
Yep.
So and big ones, and they were cheap because they were part of a surfboard repair kit.
Yep.
Right, a lot of
Yep.
people didn't really know, and I was using them for a really long time, but up until this day I still prefer 5-minute epoxy
Yep.
because it's actually a bit, well, it's tougher. It's just that they're not easy to work with.
Yeah, and
So
you have to be fast.
and you have to be fast. There are techniques to delay the pot life and all this, but at the end of it, it's not easy. So the reason why I'm segueing to this is that one of your favorite tires is actually um, Bob Pops,
Yep.
right? So, um, but he ties a lot of these. Well, another guy who's very innovative, but he does a lot of work with epoxy.
Yep.
And
These are actually his hooks.
yeah, yep,
Or
yep,
not his, but they were designed
yeah, yep,
for the beast fly.
yeah. So, so um, you're the opposite though. Your flies are like tiny
Well, they're
for a big guy, you know. Um, but how? I mean, with epoxy flies before, and there was like a huge movement back in the 90s with epoxy flies.
yep.
What kind of flies in freshwater were made with epoxy as a material?
Well, you could still use the little epoxy minnows for like smallmouth and bass
Okay.
on mostly on lakes. I don't think I have any of those because you can hardly get them anymore.
Yeah.
The actual epoxy flies.
But
I probably have some in one of my 400 fly boxes.
but so um it transitioned into, because it was skill. Like even with fly tires, there's like people that are snobby and stuff like that, right? So there are elitists and stuff. But um it became easy with UV. So the same flies can be tied with UV.
Yep.
How easy is it to tie those flies? Like realistically, what kind of skill level are we talking about to actually tie decent flies, even with, and they don't understand how hard epoxy is to work with. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard do you think epoxy is to use?
Compared to UV, it's 10.
Okay, so it's 10, right? Now we would both agree on this because that's, you know, I take pride before. I took pride on my epoxy work, and I was pretty decent. I mean, you saw, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, even the guy at the corner can actually tie epoxy flies because of UV. Now that it's easy to tie flies using like even the most difficult flies before that we used to struggle with, um, why do you think fly tying is still kind of a minority?
Um, well, most people that come in say I don't have the patience, even though
It,
they've never tried it.
yeah,
So I think it's being afraid of not knowing, maybe,
yeah.
because
So
it's actually pretty easy.
right, right. I would agree.
I mean,
You know,
I've
it's
been tying for 45 years
yeah,
and well, almost 45 years. And I mean, I still learn every day and I tie every day.
yeah. What a
But
lot of people don't realize is that it's never gonna get easy, right? It's just gonna be, there's a part where you actually it becomes actually normal, right? Okay, Randy says that afraid of failure. Failure for what? Like if you tie, let's say, and this has happened, yeah. I tie I would say very decent crazy Charlies. And then one guy who I taught would tie like I would what would qualify as very ugly crazy Charlies. When we go
it's still,
fishing, he still catches fish with them.
yep, the uglier often the better.
Yeah. And sometimes what we perceive as humans, right? Or even guys that, let's say, have been tying for quite a while, but
Yep.
still, kind of don't know the proportioning and stuff like that.
Yep.
A lot of them would view their flies as beautiful, and then
Well, all the years of guiding,
yeah,
I've had many times where you're catching fish on a fly and the fish are eating it so much, and it's literally the peacock herl is hanging off the hook and it's just barely attached by the last amount of thread, and you're
two
still
threads,
catching fish.
2 threads worth. And
Yeah, you're still.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what? This
Yeah.
isn't even a fly. It's
But see, here's the thing, right? To the fish, it might look more realistic like that than when it was new.
Yeah. So
Right?
when I lived in Montana, when we fished grasshopper
Yep.
flies,
Yeah.
there was one particular one. It was a bullet head with deer hair, and before we used it, we would cut it with a nipper,
Yeah, yeah,
and then you spit on it,
yeah.
and then you throw it in the dirt, and then you kind of step on it, and then tear a leg off.
Yeah, mash it.
Yeah, so it looked like an
Like
injured grasshopper.
Yeah, yeah. Because if it looks kind of brand new, they won't touch it.
No,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I mean,
but then I try to create these things that look like like everything is perfect.
yeah,
Every leg,
yeah,
like you saw me yesterday.
yeah. Yeah, but those work as well,
Oh yeah.
right? I mean, that it kind of depends on where you're at, you know.
Yep.
I've tied, like, I mean, very simple flies, but I've tied um I've tied clousers that when you look at them, they're like perfect, as
Yep.
gift, and you count the fibers and all that crap.
Yep.
Dude, when I used them, they didn't work as well as a Supersparse.
Yeah, did you take a seat in it?
What do you call this? A Supersparse that clouser that would be perceived as ugly, right?
Yeah, fibers hanging off the eye.
Yeah, it's like, haphazard and all this, and
Sideways.
yeah, dude, I mean, eyes are like some, especially if you're in a hurry, but it's gonna work. And a lot of people don't realize that when you're fishing, details like that kind of don't matter, and
Maybe
and
with maybe heavily pressured fish.
yeah, pressured fish, different story. But majority of the, like, look, I'm fly fishing in a part of the world that where the fish hardly sees a fly.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't realize that you don't need a perfect fly in places like that. Now, if I'm fishing in, let's say, the US, where there's a high density of fly anglers, that's a different story.
Yep.
Right? And that's where realistic flies come into play. Now, now that we're talking about the gear part, the fishing part and stuff, why is fly fishing actually so expensive?
Well, it doesn't have to be. There's inexpensive. I mean, you can get very entry level stuff.
Okay, what's entry level?
If you go to Bass Pro or Cabela's, you can get a okay outfit for $100, rod, reel, line,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I have one from Cabela's.
Yep.
Like my very first one.
But you felt I've sent rods over to you guys, and you felt the difference between.
That wasn't mine.
I know.
That wasn't
I know.
mine.
I know.
I kind of didn't like it. I
It's
kind
'cause
of
you-
didn't like it. You remember my complaint? It wasn't for me. It was for Kelvin.
Yep.
And
It's because it wasn't yours.
No, it's not that. Okay. Now, guys, the reason why I didn't like it wasn't because it was bad. Okay, the reason why I didn't like it was because it was kind of too good. Okay.
Because it casts for you.
Dude, when I casted it, even the guy who bought it, we're like, give me that. You know? Um,
You should feel the new rods.
that's a thing. And this is why we're talking about this, Dave, and this is why I'm actually asking you. Because the thing is, with fly fishing, the reason why it's expensive is because it can't be more obvious. You really get what you're paying for.
Yep.
You really get what you're paying for. And you know,
Half the price and already get-
my equipment
Yeah, those are next door.
isn't that good, for one, okay? Because I don't have the money to spend. That's A. And B,
So you have to make yourself better to fit to that gear.
yeah,
Whereas the high end stuff, it's like a laser
do
pointer.
it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do
You
it
don't
for
need
you.
to be good. You don't need to be
Yeah.
good. You
Yeah.
just
Okay. So here's the thing, guys. Okay. What Dave and I are trying to say here, okay, is for the more expensive stuff,
You need a
your
full
skill
year.
level could be like at 70% and it gets you to 100.
Yep.
Okay. And 100 is actually a very good number because that is the normal length of the fly line. And what
Yep.
we're talking about here when it comes to casting is casting the whole fly line. Okay. And I think, you tell me, Dave, how many people can actually cast the whole damn thing? Percentage. Let's say total number of fly fishermen in the world, conservative estimate.
Well, it's probably close to the 90-10 rule. So
Which
90% can't, 10% can.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Just
know,
like
and
90% can't catch the fish,
yeah.
10% catch the fish.
So okay, this is not gonna come from me, Dave. How difficult is it to cast, say, 40 feet reliably? Let's say if you're able to, because that's where it starts, right? I mean, if you
Yep.
reach 40 feet, you'd be able to actually catch fish almost anywhere.
Yep.
40
And then 40 feet, 40, 50 feet. Then you would have to start getting into the haul,
Yeah, yep.
the bubble haul.
No, that's the difficult bit.
Yep. But like I can stand facing this way and
Yeah.
cast this way
Yeah,
40 feet without using this hand.
yeah.
But it's because I know
Yeah, you know how to do it.
when to release the line.
Yeah.
So 40 feet is not gonna, well, I just had a guy in over the weekend. He bought a rod. First time out. So because he bought a rod and reel, I gave him some squirmies because he was going for a little trout.
Yeah.
He came in on Monday. You're not going to believe what I caught.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm like, first time out. He's like, I can only get it out 20 feet.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so you probably caught a sunfish or
Yeah.
a carp or a sucker.
Yeah.
And he pulls his camera out, and it was a
Big trout.
8-pound striper,
Holy crap. Oh,
striped
that's
bass
yeah.
on the squirmy.
Squirmy.
And he's like, I need help casting. So we went out to cast,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it was
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
loop that can fit a house.
Yep, and it was all in a
Squiggly thing.
squiggly out in front, and
Yeah.
he couldn't get past 15 feet no matter what he did.
Yeah. He's whipping it.
Yep, he's not pausing.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, you need to do this, and then I'm not even holding the line with
Yeah.
this hand. I'm just holding it underneath my rod hand,
Yeah.
and I casted like 55 feet.
Yeah.
He's like, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
It's because my
Yeah.
My rod path is
stop and
this.
stop. Start and stop.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not 9 to 3.
The concept of casting for fly fishing is the literal reverse of conventional fishing. So a lot of people have a really hard time like digesting it, you know?
Well, that's what he was doing.
Yeah. Conventional casting.
He was
Yeah.
reaching.
Yeah.
I said,
And
no, you need to.
loading the rod is very different. You know, in fly casting, you're actually casting the line more than anything else.
You're relying on the load, the
Yeah.
bend,
Yeah.
in the rod, and the weight of the line
Yep.
to carry your fly.
Yeah. And for obviously for conventional fishing, it's kind of different. But so you know, in one of these sessions, someone asked me like, what's your favorite type of fishing? And I said fly fishing. And they go like, what? Because a lot of people know me for all sorts of things like jigging and you know all
Yep.
that. And they go like, what? I go, yeah. Well, why? I was like, there's very little bullshit. Right? The moment someone holds a rod, you would know if that guy knows how to cast or not. Right? The moment you hold the rod, you'll already know that if this guy knows how to cast or not. And he hasn't even started. Right?
Yep.
There's very little bullshit in fly fishing. It's either you know how to do it or you don't. Right?
And it's muscle memory and timing.
Yeah,
Is all it is.
casting the skill is something that you acquire through hard work and I think proper instruction, because you could be like I did it the hard way, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
Took me many years to break my bad habits.
Yeah. And you know the guy who actually helped me out a lot was Earl. And he was in the Philippines. I was here and he told me to just go to the parking lot and then he gave me a set of instructions to follow. And then,
Yep.
you know, I was just casting in front so that I could see the loops, you know,
Yep.
and then it started with that. And then he said, you have to work on a roll cast, a back cast, and a forward cast.
Yep.
And finish the whole fly line. And I was like, that's bullshit, man. You know, that is just pure bullshit. You can't do that, you
Yep.
know? When I first started out, and a lot of people still freak out when I do it, right? Because,
Yep.
okay, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So a roll cast would get you 40, 50 feet, and that's enough to actually wind and load the rod for your back cast,
Yep.
right? So that you can generate a lot of forward pressure, or sorry, forward momentum
Momentum. Yep.
to be able to double haul and like literally finish the fly line. It took
Yep.
me years to get there, you know, but one fucking asshole sent a rod, right? I freaking couldn't believe it. It's like, shoo, and it was perfect.
Yep.
And this, the Orvis Helios, right?
The new one.
Not only was it very light, and mind you, this is a 4-piece rod. So now, shore jigging rods have actually evolved in such a way that there are 4-piece travel models.
But most of them are one piece.
I mean, there were 2. Majority of the time, there are 2. You know, 2-piece rods. It's like I have one right here. Hold on. So it's like 2-piece normally, and then they're building like 4-piece travel rods. But because of my background in fly fishing, I know that they're not there yet. Because for fly fishing, how long has it been since they've done like 4-piece top end rods?
Well, now they don't even offer 2-piece rods anymore.
It's just 4, right? But when did they start actually doing this?
Back in the There were very few of them, but late 80s,
Late
mid
80s,
80s.
so that late, that early.
Yeah.
So
But they
imagine,
but they weren't like you could feel the dead spots
yeah, yeah,
when you were
yeah,
casting.
yeah,
And the problem with them was too is with the new ferrule designs, the the rod each section seats itself over time.
yeah, yeah.
So taking it off, putting it on, taking it off. It's like fine Brillo pad.
Okay,
So it makes it smaller.
yeah,
But now the rods seat themselves because it's like the integral ferrule, they call it.
yeah,
But back in the day, those things were horrible because you would have a rod that you use for a while and a lot,
yeah, and
and
it's yeah,
it would spin around
yeah,
like your guides would you'd be casting and your guides would be up here,
that's
but
weird.
your reel would be down here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I actually, fortunately, I went into this whole thing at a time when they built like really good rods already,
Yep.
and majority of the rods that I use are like TFO, so they're not super top end, but they required some skill to actually, it's not like, remember what I called the Helios? It's like a cheap what cheat rods,
Yep.
because that's kind of what they are. It's
Well,
you know
Loomis is one of the I mean, Orvis has always made good rods, but Loomis, of course, they're more known not for their fly rods, but for their
conventional.
conventional rods. But most of those were two piece.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think every company had its issues with the multi piece,
yeah, exactly.
and then they came out with like as many as a 7 piece. You know, like each piece is this long.
Yeah,
But now, I mean, they can make a 10 piece and it'd be good because they know what they're doing.
yeah, but that's fly rods,
Yeah.
you
And
know. So
that's part of the money.
yeah, so
It's part of the
now
expense.
now they're doing the, what do you call this? They're doing the, what are these dogs doing? They're these dogs are like, under my desk, and they're just, because one dog's in heat, right? And the boy, he's kind of like wanting to do something, but he's doing it at the other end. So it's quite funny, but he has a diaper on and everything, but he just wants to just stay beside Strider. It's
Yep.
weird. Anyway, so um I think the technology for multi-piece rods for shore jigging is very far. If you compare it with uh four-piece rods, let's say just a standard four-piece rod for fly fishing, they're still not there, and that's why I had to ask, because if they started in the 80s, they had a lot of research and technology done. And when I got into fly fishing, four-piece was already the norm. If you buy a three-piece rod, it was like a cheap rod.
Yep.
And the only three-piece rods that you could get at that time when I started out were actually already the heavy stuff.
Well, from a travel perspective, though, that's why they don't offer 2 piece because you have to check it in,
Yeah, yeah,
and then it gets broken or stolen.
yep.
I'd much rather have the rod above my head in the overhead compartment.
Well, as far as the rods are concerned, they don't even allow you to take it in some airlines. They can't, like the long ones, they don't allow
No,
you to take it.
no, the 2 piece you have to
Yeah.
check.
But even the four-piece, because it's kind of long, because right now they measure stuff that you can carry, right? So even with that, it's kind of difficult. But the good thing is, and this is why I got into fly fishing um in the first place, is because the travel element. And I started using fly tackle as the filler for ultralight tackle.
Yep.
That's basically the size of the flies that you can take with you, and until I just stuck with it, because on a standard luggage, you could actually put the rod diagonally and it fits,
Yep.
and imagine you can take flies, leaders, some tools, the rod, the reel, and it's low profile. You could put everything and then the rest of your clothes and all this on top. So fly fishing has kind of become my de facto um,
We,
travel
we don't really need clothes. We can just wear what we have on.
fly fishing. Yeah,
As long as we have our gear, that's
yeah.
all that matters.
Okay, so now we're talking about travel. What's the farthest you've gone for a fish?
New Zealand.
Jesus Christ. For you, that's literally the other end of the world.
That was 1991,
Uh-huh.
and it was a 21-hour flight from LA.
Wow. And you had to travel from North Carolina to LA?
No, at that point, I lived in Montana, so
Oh, Montana.
I drove to my mom and dad's with my new puppy,
Uh-huh.
and okay, I'm going to New Zealand. Here's my new puppy. You take care of it, mom. And it's like tearing shit up
Yeah,
before I even leave.
yeah.
In fact, while I was gone, and that was before cell phones. That was before the internet.
Yeah.
That was before there was any contact.
Yeah.
Um, my 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 puppy, she had a new deck built
Uh-huh.
on the back of the house, and some of the dog food
Yeah.
went into between the
Oh,
2x6,
yeah.
and the dog chewed
The wood.
the 2x6 to get to the kernels.
Oh my God.
Brand new deck.
Yeah, but that's technically their grandchild.
But I was
So,
there for a month. I was there for a month and a half.
wow. What was it for? I mean, New Zealand, that would be trout then.
Yep, just to go fish for trout.
Yeah, but that's big trout.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that
Wow.
was 1991.
Okay.
So I was 24.
What were you doing then? What was the job?
Um, I, I was one of the managers at a fly fishing shop in the mountains of Montana.
Okay, so you were already in the industry.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So what how did you get into the industry actually? So
I mean, first started going and spending the summer in like high school.
okay.
Our parents would actually let us drive to Montana at 16-year-old, 17-year-old. And people say, your parents let you. It's like, yeah, because they knew that we were going to cause, or there was going to be less chance for something to happen on the banks of a river in Montana than on the streets of LA.
True.
So they would let us go, and we camped. Usually went for about a month and a half, and we would camp, and then it started out every once a week. We'd go into town and take a shower, and then get a hotel room, and then chase the girls around town. And then because we liked it so much, then it turned out to be like 2 or 3 times a week we would go into town
Okay.
and take a shower and have a hotel room and chase the girls.
Yeah.
And then my buddy that kind of got me into the fly fishing thing, he ended up moving there to Montana, to that same area. And then when I kept going in the summers through college,
Mhm.
and I would be a short order cook. I would guide. I would basically do anything that I could just to be involved in fly fishing.
Yeah.
It didn't matter, tie flies, shuttle cars, shuttle
Yeah, yeah,
the guides boats or
yeah,
the guides trailers.
yeah, yeah.
And then
Gopher.
it's like, well, hey, why don't you come in the shop and help us out in the taking the trash out? Or
Yeah, yeah.
so it was just kind
Literal
of,
gopher.
yeah.
Yeah. So that
And
was how you got into
yep.
this, So now it's not like that anymore.
Nope.
Different, old school way of doing things. Okay, so so how did you actually transition from doing that to like North Carolina? Because that's still a fair ways away.
So I would go there through college. I went to college in Santa Barbara
Mhm.
in California on the beach.
Mhm.
I graduated from college and I still every summer went to Montana
Yep.
and then went to grad school in Michigan
Uh-huh.
and I worked in shops
Uh-huh.
in Michigan through school.
Still in fly fishing and all that.
Doing fly fishing, yep. And I also had a work study jobs on campus, but I would do the part-time fly fishing shop.
Yeah.
Um, like you said, just to go for
Yeah.
like do whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
take the trash out, help this customer, whatever. Um, and then I moved to Montana, um, full time in the early 90s. And then I got tired of the small town scene. So the town I lived in was at the time 660 people.
Wow. That's not a lot.
So I came from LA City,
Yeah.
9 million,
Yeah.
where
To 600.
nobody knows you.
Yeah.
Each block you go, nobody knows you.
Yeah.
To a town of 600 people, and everybody knows what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
And
Including their dogs.
yep, and I couldn't do that. So I moved back to Michigan. Actually, I went back for a wedding
Okay.
and I met a stripper. Part of the
What's
story you didn't know.
okay?
And then I fell in love with a stripper because she was a stripper. And then I moved to Michigan
Okay.
and lived with her for 3 years.
Wow.
And then I was in Michigan until, well, 2007.
Okay.
And I was like, well, hell, I'm tired of working. I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I've been in every shop throughout the country.
Yeah.
Um, so I can do this myself. So the economy was still like really good
Yep.
in that time frame. So to have an Orvis dealer or
Mhm.
dealership, you either had to buy an existing shop
Yeah.
or you had to go where they wanted to open one.
Sure.
Um, so I came down here and checked out this shop, and then I went to Denver, and there was a shop there, and I went to Oakland or outside of Oakland. And because of the cost of living between Oakland, Denver, and here, I chose here
Yeah.
because it's a town of 45,000.
Yeah.
Still fairly safe. And at that point, I had little babies, as you know. So mostly it was the cost of living though. But I just love the area. I love the seasons. I don't like the summer, but we have, all of our seasons are short. So summer is only really 2.5 months.
Dude, if you hate the summer there, you want to
Yeah,
try it.
I don't want to go there.
It's right now. It's
130.
yeah, dude. It's like holy crap. I mean, and it's windy. Imagine it's a windy day and it's the temperatures that high up. So
Yep.
that's literally how you got there, huh?
Yep. So
Okay.
I moved down here, and that was January 2007, January 1st.
Holy moly. For me, I went to Dubai winter of 2005. That was, that's so we kind of within that time frame. But you were, so you bought a shop, obviously. You bought a shop.
And I probably met you in what, 2011?
2010, 2011, 2010, around there. Yeah,
Yep.
around there. That was 2010 was when I think.
Yeah, because I moved here in 2012-ish
Yeah,
to this location.
we've already known each other when you moved.
Yep.
Um,
Color you want, or are you gonna try different colors?
yeah, around then.
How did we talk?
Huh?
How
I
did-
don't I forget how we actually kind of met, how that all started. I actually forget.
I forgot.
Yeah, I actually forget. Like, I don't know, but
Yep.
I know I found you. I was the one who actually found you.
Yep.
I think I read an article somewhere, and then I had questions because that's normally how I.
Yep.
So, what about reels, Dave? How important are reels when it comes to like the whole fly fishing thing?
Um,
Because we see reels that are so expensive, like Abels are not cheap.
depends on the species, um, and definitely the size.
Give us like an idea of what you would actually use on, say, trout, and then go onto
mean-
salt water and stuff.
I mean, if you're catching these,
Yeah.
it's just holding your line.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um, but 35 years of guiding, all my anglers, of course, I was fishing for larger fish,
Yeah.
on private water.
Yeah. Pigs. I remember them. Pigs.
So
Holy crap.
I want everybody to get the line on the reel, because if you're new to it and
Yeah.
you're trying to do this and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
your fingers on the rod and you're pulling line and you're like, oh my God, what do I, and then your client that breaks off. Get them on the reel, and the reel is, one sec. Good afternoon, casters. Spam. So if you get them on the reel is doing what it's supposed to do, and the more you spin on a reel, the better the drag is, the smoother the drag is. And if that fish takes a run and you just have your hand on the rod and not on the line or on the handle of the reel,
Yeah.
the reel doesn't have a mind.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's doing, fish
Yeah.
goes, the fish stops, the reel stops.
Yeah.
But as you get up in size, like these guys,
Yeah.
you need a reel. That fish took 400 yards of line off on the first run.
The fly rods, they don't have that much fly rods, they don't have the fly reels, they don't have that much drag, they don't generate a lot of drag.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this one I can, because it's all about the surface area.
Yeah.
So the new reels, they're stacked washers,
Yeah. Rulons.
carbon, stainless, Rulon,
Yeah.
stainless, Rulon, stainless, Rulon, stainless,
Yeah.
14, 16 discs.
Yeah.
There's your surface area. This reel, which I was a field tester for Orvis
Uh-huh.
with this reel.
So we're getting into the more technical aspect of fly fishing. And Dave's gonna show us the drag of this reel. And you know, for very expensive reels, they're actually quite simple.
So this is actually one of the few reels that has a spool,
Oh, a removable spool, interchangeable. Yeah,
a hub.
yeah,
There's your rule-on,
yep,
and then a frame,
yeah.
and there's cork.
That's cork.
Yep.
It's black.
So the surface area of this reel is huge.
Yeah, yeah. How much drag can you generate?
I don't know the pounds,
Yeah.
but like these fish, the GTs,
Uh-huh.
I can't pull it off by
Gotcha.
hand. I can't pull it off. But
But
when the
what
when the
what's
GT
your-
hits the
what's your
fly,
limit?
100 pound.
Okay. So a lot of people don't know how things go, Dave, right? So like for me, my audience, they're mostly spin and conventional fishermen. So what's the weakest part of the whole system? Because like
The knot.
yeah, for us, you know, we could use like leaders that are thick and everything, but in fly fishing, it's kind of different, right?
Yep.
So what's the leader like for normal fly fishing?
It's typically tapered.
Okay.
So you get the transition of energy from the heavy fly line.
Okay. So
To-
the thick part connects with the fly line.
Yep.
Okay.
And so you have maybe a trout leader 0.024
Mhm.
diameter for the
Yeah.
butt,
Yeah.
and then it tapers gradually down to 0.007.
Yeah.
But
Really thin, like hair.
but that transfer of energy allows the fly to lay out delicately.
Now, is that kind of presentation necessary? I mean, can I use a straight leader?
Probably not on trout, just because you want it to
Yeah.
roll out fine.
Yeah.
But when we fished Jeets,
Yeah.
it was straight 100 pound.
Straight 100 pound.
Yeah, but
And
you're using
for the fly?
but you're using 12 weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Just 12 weight?
Yeah, 12 to 14. But we ran all 12s.
I wouldn't use like a 12 weight on GT. I
Well,
don't think I could do it. Like, you know, I probably a 14 or a 16.
Orvis doesn't do a 16. They definitely do a 14.
Yeah. So it I mean, I tried catching well, not tried. I've caught tuna on 10 before.
Yep.
That wasn't fun.
Give me one sec.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I've tried catching tuna on 10 weights and that wasn't easy. You know, so as far as saltwater fly fishing is concerned, it's actually okay. This is who's bugging me here. He's like, come on, go up and show yourself. Come. So this boy, okay, as you can see here, he is
Yeah.
bugging me, begging for attention.
You're
Right.
welcome to.
There we go. He's under my desk, so I can't properly. This guy is looking for attention because
No.
the smaller dog Strider is in heat.
Like
And
I said, you can,
King kind of doesn't know what to do.
and it's no
He has a
problem.
diaper on as well, so he's thinking that probably what he's feeling is wrong. So poor guy. And Strider doesn't want to be bothered. So, you know.
Sure.
Anyway, so what is a GT? Randy, it is a giant trevally. You can Google that. Giant trevally is
Thank you.
it's an apex predator. It's a reef fish, and they're the bullies of the reef. The sharks are literally afraid of these things. What reel is that, man?
That's the able. So So that's so that's the difference in the surface area
Gotcha.
between the one I showed you.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So you can see how much larger.
Yeah. Yeah. The surface area.
But
Jeez.
now the reels create the surface area by stacking the internal washers.
I think the movement for that has been a long time coming because before, especially drawbar designed reels, um, they have the traditional what do you call this? The traditional configuration, and then
Like this.
later on, like yeah, and they have like fancy ass design. What do you use that for?
This was for tarpon
Okay, wow,
and jeets.
yeah.
I've had this reel since 1991.
That's
Cable.
cable. So, a lot of guys don't even realize that when it comes to fly fishing reels, the technology actually moves quite slow, doesn't it?
Yep.
So
Well, I think it's because like there's only a few companies in the world that actually create the drags,
yeah,
and I don't know what those companies are, but
dude,
um,
dude, Loop, right?
yep.
So Loop, the guy who designed the reel, the first Loop, yeah. You ever wonder what he's up to?
What?
His company. So the guy who designed the first Loop reel, this is his company. Japanese guy, right? And now he's making his own reels, and they are the best jigging reels that you could buy. Um, this one in particular,
Yep.
it's like, but when I opened it and I had like this conversation with him, actually, I said like, um, the reel, it when I opened the drag, it reminds me so much of a fly reel. And then he started laughing and he said like, I designed the first Loop reel. I
I
was like,
remember it. I remember in the shop with one of those original loops.
yeah,
Um, it wasn't me. It was, I forget who it was, but they opened the frame
uh-huh,
and took the cap off, and all
yeah,
these bearings,
just flew.
yeah, everywhere.
Oh, oops.
Oops, I wasn't supposed to open that.
That's funny.
So we had to send it back, missing a bunch of bearings because they literally
Yeah,
it was like a bunch of little marbles just
yeah.
falling out of the reel all over the place.
But dude, like these reels are so simple right now, but when you look at the drag stack, you'd see the influence from fly fishing, and low startup inertia,
Yep, and
you know.
that's the difference with
Yeah,
the high end reels.
yeah,
You don't you don't want it
yeah.
you want it herky jerky.
I think a lot of people don't even understand that if they don't go into fly fishing and actually experience breakage, your tippet popping and how frustrating that is, you know, um, they wouldn't even care about this sort of thing because a lot of people in their lifetimes don't encounter this sort of thing. Like for me, I didn't even touch anything. My leader just popped.
Yep,
It was because of the of
because
the
when
current, no, of the current, and the fish just going up current.
yep,
And I wasn't able to take the line out as fast as I could. And then my leader just popped, and I was like, "How the hell did that happen?" These fish don't have teeth,
yep,
but but that was it. And then later on, I realized that, even if you have that, right? If you just let go and if you had a good reel, it would just release line because there's no startup inertia,
Yep.
you know? So
And
when
like I said, the reel doesn't have a brain. So
just
the better the reel, the
Yeah.
less the startup inertia.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand that. That's why when I talk about the physics when it comes to jigging and how the reel is actually better, especially when you have leaders that have damage.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
have a leader that's damaged.
like this one.
Yeah, that's smooth. Yeah.
So this reel has probably landed, not fought, but landed 1,500 steelhead,
Jeez.
and
Wow.
it purrs like a kitten.
Yeah. And how old is that reel?
1996.
There we go. So in conventional fishing, the reels change every so often. There's new technology being introduced, but in um, in fly fishing, the reels stay relevant for a really long time, and they hold value, don't they?
Yep. This is my oldest reel, and it's been all over the world.
What is that? What kind
That's
of reel?
that's an Able,
Oh wow, you're an able loyalist, aren't you?
but look at the startup.
Yeah, it's nothing. I was gonna say you're holding it like what do you call this? Like the wrong way, wrong side up.
Um,
That's crazy, and that's why, I mean, fly fishing reels, they've been technologically advanced for a really long time.
yep.
You
And
know,
this reel's from 1989.
and they're already like that.
Yep.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, that's why fly fishing tackle is not cheap, because for the longest, I mean, I would honestly say that they're ahead of the curve when it comes to like just general fishing. And usually when you're ahead of the curve, you're always it's not
Trying to
it's
make
not
something
a
better.
lot of people. You know?
You're just always trying to make something better.
Yeah. And when there's something new, you'll usually find it in fly fishing before conventional fishing. The use of cork as brakes, for as drags. Fly fishing has actually done it first before anyone else. Fly fishing has done it. The advancements on cork as drags, uh, the carbon rule-on drag systems started
Yep.
there. Heat dissipation, and that was because of rule-on. The heat dissipation technology on drags. It's nothing new.
And then the large arbor.
Yeah, large arbor, the shallow spools, that all came from fly fishing, because we don't have gears. So it's a one-on-one, one-to-one, mano a mano fighting, right? And
Yep.
I think there's no other type of fishing that actually gives you like literal blow to blow, I would say, like toe to toe, blow to blow fishing. It's that. And for fly fishing, you're always at a disadvantage.
Yep.
You're always at a disadvantage. Well, probably not. Probably in the same footing as the fish, because
That's
there's
why
no.
I
Yeah.
love the Jeets.
Yeah, that humbles you. Like that fish just makes you, because you know um there's people that love big fish. There's people that love uh difficult fish. I'm from the camp that love fishing for like difficult fish, you know.
Yep.
GT could be very difficult to catch, even if, you know, they're not normally that difficult to catch. But in fly fishing, it's actually not that easy to make them bite because you don't generate as much of the commotion that triggers their feeding instinct.
Yep.
So how do you actually take advantage of, I mean, how do you construct flies that attract, like, especially the big ones? The smaller ones, you can catch them, no problem. But the bigger ones, what's the mindset? What's the thought process?
Well, like the bush flies are like a popular pattern. The black bush fly. I don't know why you might know why saltwater fish like black. Must be because of the silhouette.
Yeah.
Because there's not a whole lot of stuff that I know that is like jet black.
Yeah.
But they love the black flies. All the ones I caught were on.
Randy, more than likely, I'm gonna let him go in a bit. Okay.
So spade tails for the.
Yeah.
So when you strip it, they pulses, and then just the dark back, and then of course this doesn't have an eye anymore.
Yeah.
But eyes, I think, are predatory.
So do you sight fish for them or is it blind casting?
All sight fish.
So that's I think that's a lot of people don't realize that when you're fly fishing, it's super visual and that you're literally hunting for the fish. And that, you know, that's 50% of the work.
Well, if you can only cast 90 to 100 feet, they have to
Yeah.
be within 90 to 100 feet. Because you can't.
Yeah.
I've never fished with a conventional rod,
Yeah.
but you can cast a lot farther.
Yeah. On a
Then-
conventional tackle,
Yep.
100 meters, no problem.
Yeah. So we get 50 to 90 feet
Yeah.
is our, well, unless they're at your feet.
Yeah.
This fish was took the fly in that blue water there.
Yeah.
So 40 feet. And it came up on the flat sideways.
Jeez. Like Dave, I wanted to ask you, like from 40 feet to 60 feet, right? The transition, because I found that casting 40 feet wasn't that much of a problem. And then after that, 60 feet, it was kind of a challenge. And then from 60 feet to 100, that's an entirely different story.
Yep.
Right. So what makes it that people get stuck at like 60 feet or just around over there? You know, what do you think is the huge block that stops people from being able to cast past like 60, 70 feet?
Line speed, which would
Okay.
be the haul.
That's it.
Yep.
So that's basically, I mean, hauling wasn't easy.
Because
You know,
I can cast 50 to 60 feet without using this hand.
Yeah. Just, well, part of it is because you're a tall guy,
Yep.
you know,
So it
the
stays up
distance-
high.
Yeah, you can bring it up high. I'm a short dude, man. You know, my problem was like my line drops on
Yep.
my back cast. So I had to learn how to steeple cast, like on the back, you know, instead of actually just moving it back, I actually angle it up.
And I think that's an issue too with casters is they false cast too many times
Yes.
to
Yes.
get more line out.
Yeah.
And then you get to a certain point, and doesn't matter how tall you are,
Yeah.
if you have a certain amount of line out, it's gonna hit the water behind you.
Yeah.
And then your cast is done.
Yeah.
So ideally it's pick up, shoot,
Yep.
deliver, or pick up, back, forward, back,
One more and then
100
present.
feet.
Yes. Yeah. I think as you progress, you just realize that that's the way to cast, you know,
Oh, yeah,
and
when you see the,
super false casts that you do. Yeah. But a lot of people actually think that it looks nice, you know, it's just like
yeah,
but then later on you find out like for me, I'm self-taught. I have a lot of kinks and it took me years to actually, you know, we call it 100 and change,
yep,
right? Because that's like a mark. That's like for me that was so significant, you know, to be able to get 100 and change,
yep.
and it still freaks me out,
And they're,
you know.
and a really good exercise that you can do to learn the double haul or to get the, um, I guess the feel
Yeah,
or the rhythm is you actually put your rod parallel to the ground or even at this angle.
yeah,
So here's the tip of my rod,
yeah.
line out and tip down, strip, let it come back behind you, strip, let it go in front of you, and just
That's
keep doing that.
that's what Earl told me to do
Yep.
in the
And
parking
then,
lot.
and then eventually,
Yeah,
when you lift that up,
yeah.
it's
'Cause
it's the rhythm.
he had me do that in the parking lot because of the barriers,
Yep.
and it formed a straight line. And he said, make your don't hit them, but make the line or make your tip go as straight as possible when you're going back and forth, you
Yep.
know, and that's your marker.
And then on the asphalt, it slides.
Yeah.
So
So
it's not good for your lines. But
no, he actually asked me to use a throwaway, so I had to change my line to
yep.
like one of the cheaper Chinese ones, and
Yep.
it had to be a floating line.
Yep. But it
So,
works.
dude, after that it changed. You know,
Yep.
it changed how I handled the lines, and then um, after that it's just practice.
Yep.
You know, because you have to get the feel and the loading.
Yep.
You know, so I guess that's that. Dave, this is not going to be the last time that we're going to have this conversation.
Cool.
All right. So I'm going to let you go because I know that soon you're going to have to do your daily stream.
Yep.
All right. So parting words. Um, how do people reach you? Your advice for people that are going to get into fly fishing, fly tying. Okay. And more importantly, how are they going to reach you if they have questions?
Well, getting into it, the best advice I can give is crawl, walk, run. Don't try to take in too much at a time because then you'll get frustrated and you won't want to do it. If you do it, leave your conventional stuff at home. Because if you go out and you're like, man, this is frustrating. I know I can catch it on my ultralight with my spinner. So I'm going to take this back to the car. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
leave it at home.
Agreed. Agreed.
You can get a hold of me so many ways, but can you read that?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So there's my website.
Yep. Dave, tell you what, with your permission, can I post your socials in the description?
Yep.
Okay. So Caster's Fly Shop, I'm gonna put your page.
Yep.
Okay. And what about your what do you call this? Instagram and Facebook, your personal Facebook?
I don't use Facebook much except for like Messenger.
Okay.
Instagram,
So Instagram.
I'm kind of I'm using mostly TikTok and YouTube.
Okay, so I'll link your YouTube page. How's that?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
yep.
because that's where you live.
Yeah. And then my shop link will be on there.
Of course, I'll put in, of course, and I think
I mean, on my YouTube, my shop link is right in the
Yeah.
right at the top.
And I think I'm not talking as a friend here. I'm talking as a customer because believe it or not, I buy from Dave. Okay. He's one of the most responsive shop owners. You know, so even if he kind of doesn't look friendly, but Dave's a really really nice guy, and he's very personable. So guys, if you know, if you can,
It's because I'm getting
support
old.
Dave. And ugly.
Yep.
Oh, dude. Anyway,
Well,
I miss
well,
our.
I've always been ugly though.
Well,
Like I
you're
said,
married,
like,
you
like
are married and you have 2 kids,
yep.
and the girls are pretty. So I'd say they take that from the mom.
Probably. Yep. Probably.
All right, dude.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, love you, Kit.
Next time.
Yep.
All right.
Love you. Thank you.
Thanks
Cheers.
so much again. Thank you very much, Dave Hise, Caster's Fly Shop. Catch him in his lives as well. And if you have questions, just hit him up. Their description holds his contacts. All righty. Yep. Thanks so much, guys. And thank you, Dave. See
Thanks,
you soon.
Yep. Thank you.